Hello, Petal. How you doing? How's it going? Your favourite laggy, flaky monster here today? I was like, yay, I'm going to do it every day and I'm going to do it every other day. I'm like, oh God, 5 days have just gone by and I don't know how it happened. Where did it go? Who's got it? If you find it, could you send it home? Smack its backside and send it back home because I don't know where it went. You know, the motivation was there, just not the application. Or something or other. Yeah. Anyway, it's Thursday. It's been a week, and I was hoping to do more recording than this week, but we can always move ahead because I'm going to be doing Mary Poppins. I'm looking forward to doing that. I didn't realise it was a whole series because, obviously I read Mary Poppins as a kid, but I was more Alice in Wonderlandy, you know. That was my favourite book. What was your favourite book when you were a kid? What was your favourite? I think as well, what I'm going to do next year is I want to do more Paddington because I freaking love Paddington, as you can probably tell from the playlist I've already got on there. And we've got Odds and Gods coming after this one, and we're going to do some more ranking as well for winter. Yes, now as you can tell from my voice, yes, again, I am a bit down with the flu. This is lupus life. Unfortunately, we do get a lot of the battering of things, and there's a certain very famous kind of flu going around my village right now, and I hope that isn't it, but you know how it goes. We just do our best, don't we? Do we not? Yes, we do. So tell me what your favourite children's book is, or even, how about your favourite book or audiobook of all time? If you leave that in the comments, that'd be awesome. Also, let me know how you are. You know, I've been in contact with a couple of you as well, which I freaking love. It's my favourite thing because yeah, you are wonderful people and I appreciate you very, very much for being here. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You're awesome. Right, my lovely beans, let's get this done. Let's get cracking because I'm really enjoying this book and I really want to do it more. So let's, because it's only on page 95 of 165, so it's only a very little book. So let's get doing it because the story's getting really, 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 it's getting in there now. Chapter 14 of Another Fine Myth by the wonderful Mr. Robert of Aspirin. A little help at the right time is better than a lot of help at the wrong time. Have you? And narrator's note, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Come on, Aahz, I shouted desperately, overturning a fruit stand in the path of the crowd. Narrator's note, oh, you devil. Now that it seemed my fellow humans were safe from Aahz, my concern returned to making sure he was safe from them.
I said, I don't believe it,
Aahz shouted as he darted past. What? I called, sprinting after him.
And one day, I believe both a devil and an imp. I tell you what, kid, if we get out of this, I'll give you my permission to kick me hard, right in the rump, twice.
It's a deal, I panted. This running was starting to tax my stamina. Unfortunately, the crowd didn't seem tired at all. That was enough to keep me running.
Look, kid, look,
Aahz was pointing excitedly.
We're saved.
I followed his finger. A uniformed patrol was marching, sauntering down the street ahead of us. It's about time, I grumbled, but I was relieved nonetheless. The crowd saw the soldiers too. Their cries increased in volume as they redoubled their efforts to reach us.
Come on, kid, step on it, Aahz called. We're not safe yet.
Step on what? I asked, passing him. Our approach to the patrol was noisy enough that by the time we got there, the soldiers had all stopped moving and were watching the chase. One of them, a bit less unkempt than the others, had shouldered his way to the front of the group and stood sneering at us with folded arms. Narrator's note, I will let you know that ever since I was a child, bearing in mind my father was in the army, I always have a difficulty in differentiating the words soldier and shoulder. I get them mixed up all the time, so having a shoulder, I digress. From his manners, I guessed he was an officer. There was no other explanation for the others following him to act the way he was. I skidded to a stop in front of him. We're being chased, I panted.
Really?
He smiled.
Let me handle this, kid,
Aahz mumbled, brushing me aside.
Are you the officer in charge, sir?
I am, the man replied.
Well, it seems that these citizens," he pointed disdainfully at our pursuers, "intend us bodily harm, a blatant disregard for your authority, sir."
The mob was some 10 feet distant and stood glaring alternately at us and the soldiers. I was gratified to observe that at least some of them were breathing hard. "I suppose you're right," the officer yawned. "We should take a hand in this."
"Watch this, kid,"
Aahz whispered, nudging me in the ribs as the officer stepped forward to address the crowd.
"All right, you know it's against the law for citizens to inflict injuries on each other," he began.
The crowd began to grumble darkly, but the officer waved them into silence as he continued. I know. We don't like it either. If it were up to us, we'd let you settle your own differences and spend our time drinking. But it's not up to us. We have to follow the laws the same way you do. And the laws say only the military can judge and punish the citizenry."
"See," I whispered, "there are some advantages to civilization."
"Shut up, kid," Aahz whizzed back. "So, even though I know you'd love to beat these two to a bloody pulp, we can't let you do it. They must be hanged in accordance with the law."
"What?"
I'm not sure if I said it, or Aahz, or if we cried out in unison. Whichever it was nearly drowned out in the enthusiastic roar of the crowd. A soldier seized my wrists and twisted them painfully behind my back. Looking about, I saw the same thing had happened to Aahz. Needless to say, this was not the support we had been hoping for. "What did you expect?" The officer sneered at us. "If you wanted help from the military, you shouldn't have included us on your list of customers. If we had our way, we would have strung you up a week ago. The only reason we held back was these yokels had given you extra time, and we were afraid of a riot if we tried anything." Our wrists were secured in thongs now. We were slowly being herded toward a lawn tree in front of one of the open-air restaurants. "Has anyone got some rope?" the officer called to the crowd. Just our luck, somebody did. It was passed rapidly to the officer, who began unceremoniously tying nooses.
"Scared,"
Aahz whispered. "What now?" I mumbled bitterly. My faith in Aahz's advice was at an all-time low.
"When they go to hang you, fly."
What? Despite myself, I was seized with new hope.
"Come on, kid, wake up, fly, like I taught you on the trail."
"They'd just shoot me down."
"Not fly away, dummy. Just fly. Hover at the end of the rope and twitch. They'll think you're hanging."
I thought about it. Hard.
I mean, it might work.
But I noticed they were tossing the nooses over a lower limb of the tree. Aahz, I can't do it. I can't levitate us both. I'm not that good yet.
"Not both of us, kid. Just you. Don't worry about me."
"But, Aahz..."
"Keep my disguise up, though. If they figure out I'm a demon, they'll burn the bodies. Both of them."
"But, Aahz..." We were out of time. Rough hands shoved us forward and started fitting the nooses over our heads. I realised with a start I had no time to think about Aahz. I'd need all my concentration to save myself, if there was even time for that. I closed my eyes and sought desperately for a force line in the air. There was one there. Faint, but there. I began to focus on it. The noose tightened around my neck, and I felt my feet leave the ground. I felt panic rising in me, and I forced it down. Actually, it was better this way. They should feel weight on the rope as they raised me. I concentrated on the force line again. Focus, draw the energies, redirect them. I felt a slight loosening of the noose. Remembering Aahz's lectures on control, I held the energies right there and tried an experimental breath. I could get air. Not much, it was true, but enough to survive. What else did I have to do? Oh yes, I had to twitch. I thought back to how a squirrel badger acted when caught in a snare. No, just no, "Oh, squirrel badger. Oh, snare. I kicked my legs slightly and tried an experimental tremor. It had the overall effect of tightening the noose. I decided to try another tactic. I let my head loll to one side and extended my tongue out of the corner of my mouth. It worked. There was a sudden increase in the volume of the catcalls from the crowd to reward my efforts. I held that pause. My tongue was rapidly drying out, but I forced my mind away from it. To avoid involuntarily swallowing, I tried to think of other things. Poor Aahz. For all his gruff criticism and claims of not caring for anyone else but himself, his last act had been to think of my welfare. I promised myself that when I got down from here... What would happen when I got down from here? What do they do with bodies in this town? Do they bury them? It occurred to me it might be better to hang than be buried alive. The law says they're supposed to hang there until they rot. The officer's voice seemed to answer my thoughts and brought my mind back to the present.
Oh, they aren't hanging in front of the law's restaurant,
came an angry voice in response. Tell you what, we'll come back at sundown and cut them down.
Sundown? Do you realise how much money I could lose before sundown? Nobody wants to eat at a place where a corpse dangles its toes in his soup. I've already lost most of the lunch rush. It occurs to me that if the day's business means that much to you, you should be willing to share a little of the profit. So that's the way, is it? Oh, very well. Here, for your troubles.
There was the sound of coins being counted out.
That isn't very much. I have to share with my men, you know. You drive a hard bargain. I didn't know bandits had offices.
More coins were counted, accompanied by the officer's chuckle. It occurred to me that instead of studying magic, I should be devoting my time to bribes and graft. Seemed to work better. Now it is out. Ain't that true in this world?
Men, the officer called, cut this carrion down and haul it out of town. Leave it at the city limits as a warning to anyone else who would seek to cheat the citizens of Twixt. You're too considerate.
The restaurant owner's voice was edged with sarcasm.
Think nothing of it, citizen.
The officer sneered. I barely remembered to stop flying before they cut the rope. I bit my tongue as I started into the ground and risked sneaking it back into my mouth. No one noticed. Unseen hands grabbed me by the armpits and by the ankles, and the journey began to the city limits. Now that I knew I wasn't going to be buried, my thoughts returned to my future. First, I would have to do something to Frumple. What? I wasn't sure, but something. I owed Aahz that much. Maybe I could restore Quigley and enlist his aid. He was supposed to be a demon hunter. He was probably better equipped to handle a Deville than I was. Then again, remembering Quigley, that might not be a valid assumption. Then there was Ishtavan. What was I going to do about him? I wasn't sure I could beat him with Aahz's help. Without it, I wouldn't stand a chance.
This should be far enough. Shall we hang them again?
I froze at the suggestion. Fortunately, the voice at my feet had different ideas. Why bother? I haven't seen an officer yet who'd move 100 paces from a bar. Let's just dump him here. There was a general chorus of assent, and the next minute I was flying through the air again. I tried to relax for the impact, but the ground knocked the wind out of me again. If I was going to continue my efforts to master flying, I'd have to devote more time to the art of forced landings. I lay there motionless. I couldn't hear the soldiers anymore, but I didn't want to run the risk of sitting up and betraying the fact I actually wasn't dead.
Are you going to lead the day, or are you going to help me get untied?
My eyes flew open involuntarily. Aahz was sitting there grinning down at me. There was only one sensible thing to do, and I did it. I fainted. Ran-dan-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da. Hey, right then. So, that was chapter 14 of The Wonderful Another Fine Myth, which I love. I've got to say, I really am enjoying them. I was going to say as well, Dr. Dolittle was another one I was going to do as well, which I'm quite excited about, because that's, you know, the sort of like nostalgic books that we used to love when we were kids. Hey, because back in the day, I mean, it's like remembering like watching Bedknobs and Broomsticks on the TV at Christmas, because that was like a film, and Jason and the Argonauts, you know, the sort of like first proper stop animation films. You know, that nostalgia of back in the day is just, and having books with dust covers, you know, and it's kind of like if you got the hardback, it was completely different from getting the hardback. Now, if you get the hardback book these days, it's like a statement piece for decorating your house with, as opposed to reading, you know. But I like my paperbacks, and I like all formats of books. I really do. I love my new tablet because it's very small, so it's exactly the same size as a Kindle. and it's a little bit easier, so it's not so heavy, and it's a lot easier to read from, which is always useful when you're a narrator. So, my lovely beans, I'm just going to do my best for you. I'm sorry it's been a bit flaky-dakey again. Goodness knows why it is, but it is what it is. But the seasons are changing, the autumn is coming, and we all know that that's when life gets an awful lot easier. Well, until it gets really cold. It's too cold. But I love it. It's like wrapping up warm, and like we said in the last time, it's like being all snuggy and comfy. And I mean, even now I've got my big hoodie on. You know, my favourite Star Wars hoodie. But yeah, it's seriously, it's 3 sizes too big. I freaking love it. So yes, time for the comfy cozy blankets and doing fibre arts and all that sort of malarkey, and maybe settling down. I like that idea. Settling down, not settling down, settling down. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, and just kind of like playing daft computer games like No Man's Sky and going back and revisiting Valheim and, you know, spending a couple of hours there and then wondering where the time went and that you had other things to do and you're sure you had something else to do, but you can't remember what it was. But yes, I will be trying again tomorrow, and nice quiet day tomorrow. Bit of a busy day on Saturday and Tuesday, but otherwise than that, hopefully we can make more extra time over the next week or so. I keep saying that, and then life goes, hi, and you're like, go away. Don't want to, don't like it, me. That sounds wrong, actually. No, I do like to keep busy. That's the problem. Then you kind of get onto one project, and then it's kind of like you get wiped out, and then you go onto another project, and you're like doopy doopy doo, and you get that finished, and you get engrossed in it, and it takes a lot longer than you thought it would. And then you come back and go, what was I going to do? Oh, I'm so sorry about the daft waffle today. Right, onwards. So if you're too cold and the weather's cold, get yourself wrapped up and keep warm and have a nice hot beverage. If you're too hot, stand in the shade, have a nice cold beverage, and wear UV appropriate clothing. Yes. Or something. But the thing is, I think with the Southern Hemisphere, it's going to be spring and autumn as opposed to winter and summer. So, but autumn is, I can feel it in the air. I can't even, I know I keep saying it, but it's autumn's coming. Yes. The end of summer and being uncomfortable and having to change every 5 minutes because you're all clammy and it's all sweaty and yeah. I need to get a life. Big love you, wonderful, wonderful beings. I appreciate you being here and I appreciate your patience. You're absolutely awesome. And I love your souls. And thank you. And take it easy, petal.